Galaxy's Edge is something else that I have an issue with. I'm going to get into that here for just a second. It looks really pretty and it looks really cool. You've got an X-Wing over there. It's not painted red, so it's not the one that we know. It's painted blue, which is part of the new trilogy style of the X-Wings. You've also got Kylo Ren's updated TIE Fighter. That's over there. And of course you have the Millennium Falcon. But what you don't have, and this is what I've noticed, is there are no aliens walking around. There are no droids trundling around or moving around. You don't even get the shadows of ships passing overhead to show that this is a very active spaceport, which Black Spire is supposed to be. I don't even know what Black Spire is. The only reason I even know about Black Spire is because L3 references it to Lando Calrissian when she says in Solo,
"You couldn't get from here to Black Spire without me."
So that's it. I'm like, what's Black Spire? Where is it? Black Spire is a town that's located on, I think it's a desert planet, called Batuu. Batuu is basically off-brand Jakku. And we know Jakku is basically off-brand Tatooine. So you have off-brand Tatooine, and that is Batuu, Black Spire. They don't have the cantina we know and love. They don't have the Bith Band. They don't have Twi'lek dancers. They don't have a hut, even an animatronic hut, which would be really nice. They don't have characters walking around that we know and love. You don't see C-3PO or even any other human-cyborg relation droids. You don't see Darth Vader walking around. It's supposed to be based in the later trilogy, I understand that, but we have nothing invested in Black Spire. Nothing. There is nothing in that place of the original trilogy except for Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon. It's got one ride. The other one, the Rise of the Resistance, is supposed to be open, I think, somewhere in January of 2020. But that's pretty much it. There's nothing for kids to do in that place either. There's also no water, which is a huge attraction, which leads me to believe it's on a desert planet, so they don't have water. The drinks are like $40 a pop. The food is expensive. They have a ton of stores. I mean, Disney made sure to put the stores in, so you have a lot of stores. You can buy whatever you want. You can make lightsabers. This, by the way, is just, I think it's made by Master Prop Replicas, I think. But you can build your own lightsaber for $200. You get that experience, which I guess is kind of neat. But you don't get to build the classic sabers that you grew up with. Even the people from the prequels grew up with. You don't get to build Anakin's lightsaber. They're completely different designs. So you don't have that. You can buy the prop replicas. They're like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever you want. If you want with a removable blade, you're looking at about $1,000. To get into the park, it's about $150 to get in, and then when you do get in, you don't see anything that made you love Star Wars in the first place. You don't have anything that you love in there. You don't see Han Solo walking around with Chewbacca, which you should. You have a Chewie, you need a Han. But there's also a character there called, her name is Vi Moradi. I think it's spelled Maradi. It's Vi Moradi, and she is part of the Resistance. She walks around, she hides behind people, she, asks people to please help keep her away from the Stormtroopers and the Empire. She's part of the rebuilding Resistance, which I respect that. I love character actors that walk around and they get people involved like that, and it's not something that's in your face, awkward, or pushy, or it's just kind of make you feel like I don't really want to do this, which is the feeling I get with a lot of these stormtroopers coming up to people. You don't have the smuggler or the ladies of ill repute that are at the bar. You don't have somebody who's waiting for their ride to show up and then they just leave. This could be an actor that just goes backstage. I mean, there's just a bunch of things that they could do. Just little things. They could have drones that have a perspective view of like smaller ships that fly over occasionally. They could be painted like a very dusty color so it looks like they're high up in the atmosphere. That would not be hard to do. And that would not be that expensive. You'd have to buy a few drones, but guys, it's Disney. They can afford it. And with the prices they're charging at that park, they can most definitely afford to do better than what they're doing now. The park did just open. So I want to give it like a year to get these bugs worked out, to add things, to do whatever they want. But in the case of Vi Moradi, who is she? Who's Vi? Why do I care about her? Who is this character? We have nothing invested in Vi Moradi, in Black Spire, in the cantina that's in there, in anything that's in there. We don't have anything invested in it at all. Because there's nothing for kids to do with that land. It's basically geared toward me and people who are a little bit younger than me who grew up with the prequels, and people who are older than me who were kids when they saw the original trilogy in the theaters. We're the ones that have the money. We're the ones that are going to be spending our hard-earned cash at that place. The kids aren't going to do that. And if you have a family of 4 going into this park, you're looking at $600 to get in. Easily. But that doesn't even count food. That doesn't count if they want a lightsaber. That doesn't count if they want to build a droid. That doesn't count anything else. So your parents, if you go to Disneyland and you want to have the best experience at Galaxy's Edge that you can, you're going to be looking at spending like $2,000 easily at Galaxy's Edge if you want to have the best experience and get the stuff that you want. Now, for people like me who work a full-time job and make minimum wage, we can't experience this. This land is not for us. This is not for the people who are poor. This is not even for the middle class. This is basically the rich man's galactic mall. That right now is what Galaxy's Edge has turned into. Other things that are missing from Galaxy's Edge, that would be things that would be really cool to do, aside from the people that are walking around and interacting with you. If Disney wanted this to be a totally immersive experience, where it brings you into the universe itself, maybe what they could do is they could actually have an area for lightsaber training, like a lightsaber training academy. I mean, you do spend $200 to make this custom lightsaber of yours, and in that you're told that you are part of the fight and that it is up to you to try to right the wrongs against the First Order. So how are you going to do that if you're not going to be trained? So now you have these kids and these adults that have these custom-built, really well-made lightsabers. I hear they're made of metal, and then they have the removable blade and everything. Maybe you could go train with them. There could be an area where there's a Jedi Master, or there's, maybe not Master level, but there's a Jedi who's hiding out on Batuu, and he's training, or he or she, or they, could be an alien, is training these people who have their lightsabers. They could show you a few good sword techniques to use with that, and they could caution you, don't use this in public. This is the secret. You are the new secret army. You are what we need to defend the galaxy. And you have them trained to actually use the sabers a little bit. So you don't have people just going, key. They could have that. They could have a training academy where the Jedi who's hiding out is training other people to use a lightsaber, and maybe a couple of these people prove to be force sensitive. You get like 2, maybe one person is chosen out of each group to be like, you're force sensitive, and then Disney has like a magic thing that happens where a box is lifted and then set back down. It's just something that like what the Harry Potter universe does in the wand choosing activity that they've got, where one person is taken out of the crowd and they are given a wand. They're going through a couple of them, and then they're like, well, this is your wand, there's the light, and you're good to go. You go into the store and the wand is $50 basically. But something to that effect, so that one person can feel like they are special, like, I've got the Force, and these other people who are learning to use their lightsabers be like, we're gonna help, and so the person's like, cool, I feel special. So that's kind of neat. And not everybody's going to get that same you've been chosen experience, but that's the whole point of the Force, is that not everybody's going to be chosen for it. It's just the Force chooses people, and it's really weird the way it does that. But that could be part of the mystery, and then that person is going to take that with them when they're walking through this world and they're seeing droids moving along and they're seeing aliens moving along, and they've got their lightsaber, and they're going to be like, I'm the next hope. I'm the person that's going to be able to bring this hope to the galaxy. I have a purpose. And yes, it's going to be like this thing that they know it's part of the Disneyland whole deal, and it's not actually real, but the time that you're immersed in that, you're going to want to feel like that's real. And that is part of the magic of Disneyland, is being immersed into something and feeling like it's real. Maybe Vi Moradi has something to do with it. Maybe she is connected with this Jedi and she is helping him hide out. And that's why you want to help her, because she is helping him or her, or like I said, alien it, So I think it would be really cool to see like the Jedi who's hiding out. And maybe every once in a while the stormtroopers get a hint that the Jedi Master is there, and then they've got to go into hiding for a little bit, and then they'll come out later. There could even be a show around that Jedi that's hiding out and be like, I'm here, you know, with or for Luke Skywalker. It can even be Luke Skywalker. I mean, bring our original trilogy into this. It could be Luke. It would be really, really awesome if you get a chance to have a lightsaber training session by Luke Skywalker. Maybe Vi Moradi has something to do with it. Maybe she is connected with this Jedi and she is helping him hide out, and that's why you want to help her. Vi Moradi is helping Luke. It could be her story, could be that she is the one that gave Luke sanctuary. Maybe he crashed or something, or he went to that planet and he came upon her and she offered him a place to stay, and he found out that she was on, you know, the side of right, and it's like, I can use her. She might have a shop of her own that he uses to have a kind of like a back house out of, and that's where you go to. You go into the back and that's where he's training you. But it's her. It's Vi Moradi, and she is the one helping Luke Skywalker to stay in hiding, at least for the moment. But that's my idea. That is something I would implement in this land, and that's something I would think would be really, really cool to do. It would also mean you could use your $200 lightsaber for something. That would be freaking amazing. I would pay to go to Galaxy's Edge if I could do that. And I don't have $150 to pay just for the entrance fee. There are so many things that they could do with this land, so many ways that they can make it totally immersive and keep you within the world that you grew up in and that you loved and that you always will love.